This recession isn't just imminent, it is right around the corner. While people continue to ignore the data, while they continue to ignore the warning signs, this economy is not as strong as you are being told. This economy is weak. This economy is already in the beginning stages of a recession, which I truly believe is going to turn into a massive depression. You are going to witness the Great Depression 2.0 as America goes through its worst economic collapse in history, and it is much closer than most of you think. It's Sunday, September 15, 2019. As America gets deeper into this recession, as America gets closer to an economic collapse, people continue to deny what is happening. People continue to want to live this reality star type lifestyle without a care in the world, living on credit cards, living on borrowed time, living in denial. I spoke with somebody very close to me today. This person is one of the smartest people I know, one of the most honest people I know, and she just gave me her opinion of some things that she was witnessing on social media, like Facebook. And I can totally agree with this story because I know people like this, you know people like this, but it's these same people who literally live on credit cards, have massive amounts of debt, but continue to show us their $20 cocktails at Mastro's, show us that they're eating a prime rib or a lobster tail, either on somebody else's money or on a credit card. These people on social media, spending hours and hours every day of their life engulfed in social media while our country is burning to the ground, while this economy is ready to collapse, as it's melting down right before our very eyes. People on social media are showing us what they're eating for dinner. They're showing us their glasses of champagne. They're showing us their $20 cocktails at Mastro's, their big fat juicy steaks at Morton's. Most of these people, 90% of them, purchasing this on money that they don't have. They're borrowing money to take pictures of food and drinks that they're eating and drinking, buying this on borrowed money like credit cards, while the entire country is eroding just to impress people like you and I, or to impress people they don't know, or to impress people they don't even like on social media. This is such an issue here in America, that the amount of narcissism, the people now just pretending that they're reality TV stars on Facebook and Twitter, showing us what they're eating, showing us what kind of champagne they're drinking. I mean, this is why we're going to have a collapse in America, because people are absolutely out of control. The social well-being of America, just the immorality that we are seeing. People just have no character, they have no standards, they have no self-respect. They will do anything just for people to watch them, look at them. It's just really, really sickening where we are as a country today. Now look, everybody posts pictures on social media of this and that, I get it. But these are people that do this on such a regular basis because I guess they need to feel wanted by impressing us with the champagne or the scotch or the prime rib or the lobster tails that they're buying on credit cards. I'm not impressed. I don't think you're impressed. But these people are going to be in a world of hurt when this economy collapses. And in fact, their economy is collapsing right now because these are the people paying the bare minimum on their credit cards so that they can go to fancy restaurants or fancy resorts and take pictures and show us, while they're getting deeper and deeper into debt, paying the bare minimum on their credit card just to impress us. Listen, when this collapse hits, there is no lobster tail, there is no prime rib, there is no automobile, there is no watch on your wrists that is going to save you or help you during this collapse. It is not going to protect you from a collapse. These are the people that are the most unprepared for what is about to happen here in America. These people cannot protect themselves financially. They cannot protect themselves physically. They have no clue of what's coming. They are going to be in such a whirlwind of hurt when this collapse happens in America. And if you're one of these people watching this video right now, I beg you, please, I'm praying for you, please wake up and see the light. Start helping yourself. We don't care what you're eating or drinking. We don't care what you drive. We don't care what your zip code is. But we do care about you, that you right now wake up and prepare, because I don't want to see any individual hurt during this collapse, okay? I don't want to see anybody suffer, but I'm not going to feel sorry for these people. Again, I've had to make sacrifices. I've had to downsize. I've had to adjust my lifestyle and my way of living in order to prepare what is coming, because I truly believe in my heart and soul that America is going to be absolutely rocked economically, socially, politically, and spiritually. And if you are not preparing for it right now, you are going to be living in a nightmare. So don't worry about showing us what you're eating, what you're drinking, or what hotel you're staying at, or if you're staying at a beautiful resort in Hawaii, again, using a credit card to do it. We don't care. Look, if you can afford all this stuff, great, but you don't need to impress anybody but yourself. Stop impressing people. I would be more impressed if these people took $100, went to McDonald's, bought 100 hamburgers, and went to a food bank or to a tent city or to Skid Row and started handing out food, hamburgers, and helping somebody. That's what we need to be doing. We don't need to be impressing one another with what we're eating today. We need to start helping people who haven't been able to help themselves, people who are down and out. We need to start doing something good instead of being narcissists. Things are going to happen here in America, and you better get ready. As I make this video on this Sunday evening, gold is currently up $20. Silver is up 32 cents. We may see volatility tomorrow in these markets as we've got some very bad news coming out of General Motors. 48,000 union workers set for first nationwide strike at GM in 12 years. The union says it will go on strike at midnight. And this could be very bad for the economy. It could be bad for the stock market tomorrow. This strike could hurt the U.S. economy at a time when the auto industry is already suffering from a major slump in sales. The union has been struggling to stop GM from closing plants in Ohio and Michigan while arguing that workers deserve higher pay after years of record profits. Remember, we bailed General Motors out 10 years ago. The U.S. tax-paying citizen bailed out General Motors, and what do we get in return? They go to China, they build cars there, they hire people in China, they close American plants, don't want to give their workers a raise, they just want to continue to close, pay less, and go over to China, but charge you more for the automobile or the truck. GM has opened up 4 factories in China. They now employ 58,000 workers in China. You got sold out. Stop blaming this president for these problems. These politicians and your past presidents over the last few decades have completely sold out America. They sent your jobs to Asia. They sent them to China. 58,000 people working in plants in China, while GM wants to continue to close plants in the US, pay its workers less. Look, we need to vote with our wallets. I would never buy a General Motors product. I would buy anything but a General Motors product. They sold Americans out. They'd rather work over with the communist government, charge you more for a vehicle while paying its workers less. They sold America out. GM should be dealt with. Deal with them with your wallet. Do not buy a General Motors product. Go buy something else. They sold us out. And you know what? This is where Americans really have to make choices where they're putting their money. And General Motors does not deserve, after we bailed them out, they close plants, go to China, charge you more for a vehicle. They do not deserve your business. We've got some other things that are going to affect this economy, and one of them is oil. Oil opened up earlier this evening 20% higher than what it closed at on Friday. It opened up at $72 in change. It closed on Friday at $60 in change. So here we are on Sunday. Already oil is up 20%. We could see oil, a barrel of Brent crude, easily hitting $75. And let me tell you, this is not going to help the average American who is right now counting every penny every time they go to the store, every time they go out to eat, every time they go to a department store. Anytime now when you spend money, most people are counting everything. And now we're going to see, I'm already seeing surging prices at the pump out here in California. We're paying Arco, one of the cheapest ones in town, is about $3.40 for regular. I would imagine that that's going to go up even more tomorrow, and it's probably going to go up throughout the week. So we are going to see surging prices at the pump coming. So get ready for that. Not going to help the average American who's living paycheck to paycheck, counting all his nickels and dimes. Many people living on credit cards. Now they're going to use that credit card at the pump, and they're going to be paying, 20, 25 cents more a gallon, quite possibly more. It's coming. So now we have a strike with General Motors that is going to affect the economy. Oil prices are going to be surging, going to affect the economy. What else is affecting the economy? I mean, we could talk for days about what's affecting the economy, but corporate profits are going to affect the economy. Corporate profits are down, and they're down a lot. We've had years of corporations manipulating the numbers, cooking the books, inflating profits. This whole thing has been a total illusion, a total scam. The US economy is not as strong as they are telling you. If the economy was in great shape, which it is not, why is there so much excessive borrowing when the debtors are tapped out? Ask yourself that. I want to go on, talk a little bit more about the stock market. The stock market is good, right? Everyone has one or two or even three side hustles on top of their job just to make ends meet. But the stock market is good, so that means the economy is good, everything is okay. If the economy is so good, how come so many people are working one or two jobs, or a job plus one, two, or three side hustles, and they're still just getting by? There's nothing to worry about, is what everybody tells me. So the same people who have a full-time job, or they're working 30 hours because they can't get a full-time job because nobody can afford to pay them benefits, but they're working 30, 35 hours, but then they have to go drive for Uber and Lyft, or they're working at Starbucks, or they're working at some coffee house, or they're bartending, or they're doing massage therapy, or they're a personal trainer, or they're selling real estate part-time. Everybody has all these side hustles going on, just trying to stay afloat. And sooner or later, this is going to run out. People are just acquiring way too much debt. But the media, the business analysts, everybody's telling you everything is okay. The stock market is telling you everything is okay. There's nothing to worry about. It's okay that you're working a job and two side hustles. That's just the way it is. People in America have fake wealth. We look at junk bonds, leverage loans, investment grade debt. A substantial portion of it now trades with virtually no fundamental information. Assets are being bought simply to accommodate the flood of investor money with no regard for actual financial data. That's not a problem while the tide is rising, but it leads to an immediate collapse in liquidity when the selling begins. So what are these assets really worth? Nobody knows. Nobody's gonna know until the tide goes out, until people begin to sell. When people begin to get nervous, as people begin to run to the exits, we're gonna find out what these assets are really worth. And many of them, there is no information on them. This is a complete Ponzi scheme, a facade, an illusion. People are being bamboozled, they're being duped into these markets. Trillions in assets have no financial support. You have to ask yourself, is this what you want to be reliant on when the collapse hits? Gold and silver is 1,000,000 times safer than these paper dreams that the Wall Street crooks are selling you. They're selling you a dream, and this dream will be a nightmare when the selling begins. I think you really, really have to do the right thing here and really think about holding hard, tangible assets like gold and silver, not these paper dreams that these crooks are selling you. So I'm going to wrap it up right there this evening, but I think we may have a volatile day tomorrow now that this strike is about to begin, probably in about a couple hours. This could really affect the markets tomorrow. Dow Jones futures are down, I think, about 100 points right now from what somebody had told me earlier. But I was actually expecting the markets to be up tomorrow with oil pushing these markets. But now, with the news of General Motors, nearly 50,000 people going on strike, the auto sector in disarray, sales plummeting, and now a major strike, first in 12 years. So this could send everything into a tailspin tomorrow. Gold and silver surging as I speak. Gold up $20, silver up 32 cents. And again, there was a major pullback last week, but there was complacency. Now, again, the complacency is starting to fade, and we're seeing volatility with what's happening with General Motors. But this is what I'm talking about. You don't know what you're going to wake up to. You don't know what you're going to go to bed to. There is major volatility in these markets. They can go away for a week or two or three or a month, but they're coming back. There is too much volatility in these markets, in the global market, in the US market. And sooner or later, they're no longer going to be able to hide this. Reality is coming to America. Reality is coming to the markets. And this is the main reason I make these videos, to make sure that you are protecting yourself. Before I go, I almost forgot. I want to go over one more article with you. You can check this video out. It's on YouTube. It's all over the internet. I've got to be careful what I say here, but it was an individual that was assaulted by a mob in Minnesota. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this. If you don't, you can just look up Minnesota, whatever, and find it. It's all over YouTube. It's all over the internet. But this really makes me think when I see this. First off, it's sickening. It's disgusting. It's just pure viciousness. Vile, evil, demonic human beings that can gang up on one person, trying to rob him. It looked like they tried to take something from him. Maybe it was a cell phone. I don't know. But viciously beating this man. And they punched him, sucker punched him, knocked him to the ground, kicked him. People jumping on him, running and jumping on him, two legs, 2 feet, right in his midsection, numerous times, and then running over him with a bicycle, and then like taking a plant holder and slamming it over his head. But just this continuous beating, this viciousness for somebody who is minding their own business. And you should always think about this. Always be aware of your surroundings. Always be scanning and assessing, but be very aware of your surroundings. These are the good times. Just think what you're going to see in the bad times. We have human beings that have no problem just doing this out of pure entertainment, laughing, just degrading this man, laughing and having a good time, like it's just nothing but a party. Imagine what people will be capable of doing in the bad times. Imagine what you could see here in America, an economic collapse. What if the lights go out? What if the water goes out? What if there's food shortages? Imagine what you're going to see if we see this right now in the good times. We see human beings attacking one man minding his own business. Just imagine what you're going to see. Again, remember, the most important asset, other than staying close to God, is security. I cannot stress that enough. When I see the evilness, the viciousness that people can do to other people, you need to be making sure that your security is in order. You need to be making sure you're out training, making sure that you're stockpiling brass, another incredible asset to be having. And I'm going to say, look, security and brass are more important than gold and silver, okay? They're more important than food and water. You better be able to protect yourself and your preps. Otherwise, somebody is going to take them. These kind of individuals that literally tried to kill this man, I don't even know if he's still alive. Do you think if these people knew you had food and water, you think they're coming to your house? I guarantee you 110% these individuals are coming to your house. Do you think that these individuals could quite possibly do something very, very bad to your wife or to your daughter or to your kids? 110%. These people are very capable of doing that. You have a fiduciary duty right now to be preparing to make sure that your family, your wife, your daughters, your kids, your household is safe. Make sure that you are preparing right now, because you may be dealing with some very, very bad people. You may not have to worry about food. You may have to worry about people like this coming to your house and doing very, very bad things to your family. So make sure you wake up and that you are preparing. God bless every one of you. Have a phenomenal week. I'll talk to you very soon.